We're here with a, what are we working on, Chase?
2005 Honda TRX 450R.
Alright, what we're trying to do is set the valve lash. And unfortunately, what it looks like you have to do is, what we're doing right now, you take off the cam gear.
Yes. If I can find a sock or Allen.
We have to take off the cam gear to be able to set new shims under the lifters.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're actually having to do right now. Now, the spec is for the intake 0.001 inches to 0.006. Smallest feeler gauge we got is 0.007. So we are going to try to work with that. Now, we can put it, it's really easy now.
What?
You can really put it under very easily. It slides in and out.
I loosened the tire bolts, the cams up.
Oh, that makes sense then.
Because I still have tension on the timing chain.
So, I didn't see you do that. Alright, so we could get the feeler gauge in there just a little bit, which means that I'd say it's either at 7 thousandths or it's just a little bit over. So we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can find a shim that's a little bit taller to put under the intake lifter over here, and this one, it won't fit under at all. Of course, I can't show you that now because the cam bridges are loose. So, that is where we are at right now. The cam is loose. It's not off there because he still has to loosen the tensioner. It looks like we got a flathead on it right now. Is that what's going on right there?
Yeah, it's a modified flathead. There's a special tool for it, but, you know, we'll just grind them down and make them work.
Sounds good to me.
Can you come hold this? Or Andrew, can you hold the screwdriver? It's like spring loaded. It'll try to rotate counterclockwise.
Now I've been told the screws that hold the cam gear on, you want to be sure not to lose those down past the what is this, the head into the crankcase.
Yeah.
And you don't want to lose those down there because I've been told the engine has to be split to retrieve them. So it's a good idea to probably get a magnet on this so they don't fall anywhere. So Nathan, you think you're ready to pull that cam gear off? Now for us this seems to be a 3-person job because we don't have the tool to hold this tensioner down. So I'm here holding this spring-loaded screwdriver. Chase is taking the cam bridges off, and now Nathan is wiring up the cam gear to the frame to keep the chain from slipping off the crank sprocket. Now the cam assembly is coming out.
Be careful, make sure that your buckets that are down here in the bottom of your cam tower don't have your shims in them. These things will bounce around and you'll lose these little things.
Alright, on this side we had a 165. It was a little bit too tight, so we put a 1.6 shim in there, and we're going to put it back in there, and just by estimation, since this feeler gauge wouldn't fit in there, we're going to say that that should probably do it. On the next one we're going to go bigger, just by a step.
On the exhaust?
No, on the other intake. I'm going to guess that's probably the primary intake.
Yes, we need to go, I think we need to go a step or two bigger.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Hold on.
It was still crazy
See, look.
tight.
I could have just lost that. Anyways, these are both 195s, I think. These things are impossible to read. The Hot Cams kit comes with a magnifying glass.
To read that?
To read. I mean, this Hot Cams kit was like 160 bucks, but it is so worth it. Instead of trying to do this in order, shim by shim. Okay, 195. These are both 195s. And we need to go way bigger, right?
Way smaller.
Yeah, that's what I meant. 195. You want to try 185 first, or you want to go way, way smaller?
Let's go 180.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling the other one's going to be off, maybe. Because
I mean,
we
here.
don't really know what's going in it.
Look.
Just go 180, I guess.
Fuck. Okay, 195. So we need two 180s.
First try, we got our new shims in there. Are you missing your caps over there?
Yes, I am, actually.
So what we're going to do is put these down. We're going to torque these to spec, right, Chase?
What?
The cam caps.
Yeah.
Of course. What's going to be the spec on that?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the manual yet.
Alright, so we're going to go with quarter turn past tight. Whatever that may be to you. So we're going to get this back on, and really, I mean, we took the cam off at top dead center, right?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't have really moved.
Yeah, we should still be at top dead center. I should just slap this
so
back
we should
on
just
here.
tighten this back on and then remeasure.
Yep. And everything's just getting hand tightened as long as everything's. I'm just making sure everything's seated all the way.
True.
Making sure the tower's all the way seated and stuff like that. That way I know my marks are right.
Alright.
How important it is to make sure you don't lose those shims and buckets.
We got the shims. Buckets are still in there.
Yep.
We were a little bit too tight still on the exhaust. The intakes actually felt good, but on the exhaust we're a little too tight, so we're going to go smaller. Shim came out with that bucket. So let's see what happens with that one. Shim stayed inside the lifter there. So what we actually have going here is we got the screwdriver in there. It's actually dropped down a little bit. Looks real ghetto right now. But we have this turned in. It's holding the chain tension off it. And I got tired of holding the screwdriver, so we put vice grips holding it there, and the vice grips are against the frame holding it from springing back on us. Again, we were too tight on the exhaust. This one actually has, see if we can see it. Right there, if it'll focus. Will it focus? It's focused. Can't see it being here. There's a little bit of play. That might actually just be, that's actually just the secondary arm here. It's not even the one that's on the lifter that's moving.
But before we didn't have any play.
Yeah, exactly. There was tension the whole way through. Now we got a little bit of slack on this upper arm, but there's still tension down here. So we're gonna skip another size. What were we at just now?
165, I think,
on the exhaust.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move down to 155.
I think I'm gonna jump way down again because we still.
We still got room.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna jump down to like a 140.
Might as well jump down a few more steps than have to go down 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Rather than,
This is ghetto. We need zip ties.
Taking it apart twice would be a lot easier than taking it apart 4 more times. But yeah, that's our zip ties would make it a lot easier. We got this. What is this? Just a wire?
Yeah, it's just a piece of like 14 gauge stranded copper wire.
Holding that up there. So if you got zip ties, that'll help.
This didn't fall down in the crankcase, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Take that off. Watch my buckets down there. Make sure I'm not taking shims with me. Okay, I got both my shims there. Okay. Ooh, I lost both of them, but they're both right here.
Still in the head, so we're good.
Yeah, as long as they're not down in the crankcase, rattling around, tearing up rod bearings and stuff. So
now we have guessed a few times. We said 165 for the exhaust, and it was still too tight. Now we went down to 145. Now all we're doing is guessing, but over here on our special manual, they actually have a equation back here you can try to use to solve for what shim you should put in there.
also, that equation, you have to have the size of the valve or the shim that was already in the cylinder head. We didn't have any, so that's why we're having to kind of guess on where to start on shims. And it's taking us so long because we didn't have any to reference off of. If this was just like a maintenance type of deal, the valves were worn a little bit, you should probably just go a step or two up and you should be pretty close.
True.
But
Make sure while you're doing this, you're probably going to end up taking the cam simply off over and over again. You want to make sure there shouldn't really be any reason it happens, but you just want to make sure you stay on TDC. It's not focusing very well, but you just want to make sure you stay on TDC so you're not losing any clearance with the cam pushing down on any of the lifters. So here we are right now. The problem we ran into is no matter what shim we put on here, no matter how small, and then even in fact right now we have no shims on this bucket or under this bucket, and we could not get clearance in between the rocker and the bucket. So right now, Chase, could you go ahead and get your phone light ready? right now we have the head off, and whoa, that was weird. I just felt the valve move in like it was stuck. I'm gonna flip the head over and shine your light into the exhaust port, and you can see that light in there that's coming from the exhaust, meaning that the exhaust valve is being hung open. We had 0 compression whenever we tried to compression test it. So we're thinking that we have the wrong buckets on there. We need flat ones or ones with smaller divots, because there's little divots that are in between the top of the bucket and the valve stem. So I thought I'd just finish this video off showing you guys where we stopped and what we need to do. The intake, I mean, still ended up working. The intake is fine. That part is correct and went very easily. But still, I think we need to get new buckets. Evidently these ones were bought off of eBay and they were used. So probably just need to end up getting the right buckets to make this work right, because I think they're just too big. So if you like this video, and you like watching Chase tinker with the head over there, he thinks he remembered that that's an what do you say, 06, 07 head?
Yeah, I think.
And it's different specs in the 05 engine. So we think we have to buy buckets for 06 to 07, which, you know, to me that sounds like the legitimate issue. So thanks for watching. Leave a like or comment. I mean, don't make Chase cry.
Yeah, don't do that.
Thanks for watching.